Unsolicited advice. Unsolicited advice. You know it's good to share problems. I rip straight from the public forums. Unsolicited advice.
I had a dear. Oh wait, you said you did a Dear Prudence, right? Oh wait, here's this one. This was this one was manners. Couple's annual Christmas letter is just one big boast.
What you're supposed to be randomly picking these.
I randomly
let's
picked
do
them.
it. Let's do it then. Wait. Hi, I'm Ed.
Who? I'm Dan.
And welcome to Unsolicited, the show where we find a piece of advice column, find an advice column from the past.
Yes.
And we rate the question, we rate the answer, then we offer the worst advice that we can think of. Hey, Dan, we had previous to the airing of this, we discovered a thing that we wanted to do. So, Dan, what did you find? What was our randomly
this
generated?
one is Miss Manners.
Miss Manners.
Yeah.
Is there a Mr. Manners?
No, this Miss MISS.
I know, but I'm saying, is there a dude version? Is there a Mr. Manners? I'm gonna Google it. You start reading. I'll Google.
I don't know. So this is couple's annual Christmas letter is just one big boast.
Yeah. What? Okay.
People love those Christmas letters.
Never written one in my life.
Dear Miss Manners, every year we receive a Christmas letter from a couple we see frequently, and therefore we are up to date on what's going on in their family. Their annual letter seems to be nothing more than the opportunity to brag about vacations, vacation homes, their children's careers, and their purchases. If there was a death in their family and thus a duty to mention it, it is reported as the best funeral ever. Of course, after the boasting has been thoroughly covered, the last sentence always includes a wish for our family to have a holiday filled with peace and joy. I mean, I guess that's better than "fuck you, I hope you die."
Right? Yeah. Generally,
I find this type
Christmas letter.
I find this type of form letter to be shallow, self-serving, and in very poor taste. What was once a means of keeping in touch with distant friends and relatives and conveying the spirit of the season seems to have morphed into a very different agenda. What is your opinion of these letters? Ooh, I like it. End with the question. Very clear.
Very clear. What is your opinion of these letters? Well, Dan, I'm going to go ahead. I kind of love this question. I mean, like, clearly she's a petty asshole. Right? But we're not judging the person writing the question. We're judging the question. She's curious.
Question. Yes.
She's basically throwing it out there to the world like, hey.
I'm right?
I'm a petty asshole.
I'm a petty asshole, but I'm right.
Are you also a petty asshole? My guess is Miss Manners is not, but yeah. I'm excited. How funny would it be? Like, yeah, these people should rot in hell. So I'm going to give the question. I shouldn't, but I'm going to give it a 7. I'm going to give it an 8 because I kind of want to hear the answer. And I've got a special place in my heart for petty assholes. What can I say? I like them.
I'm going to say a 5. I'm going to say a 5 because.
Why? What's your problem with her? Well, I know it's not her.
Yeah, no, not her. It's just that type of question. You know, is this person really looking for an answer? You know what? Well, I mean, she's not. She's just like, what is your opinion of these letters? Like she's trying sincere. To solve.
Christmas letters solve. Like, have you looked at the internet? Have you heard of Facebook? Like, what is how human beings communicate in, like, what do you want in a Christmas letter? Like, like my sister died and the funeral was kind of half-assed. Like, the preacher had a missing tooth and smelled of booze. Like, what do you want him to say? Don't go over your big purchases. Go over your mundane ones. We bought 48 cans of refried beans last year. What's
My
wrong with this
bowel
person?
movements have been just fine.
No, too braggy. Too braggy. My bowel movements have been too loose. And then too tight. And then they go right from too tight to too loose, so it feels like I popped a champagne cork down there.
Oh no.
That's what you need.
That's
what you need in a
what
Christmas
someone's got to
letter.
write into an advice column. I think I shot a champagne cork on my
I
ass.
cracked the porcelain. Do
you think?
All right. We've
I should
riffed
see
enough
it.
on this
Okay, all
poor
right.
woman. Not this poor woman. This woman is obviously the worst human being that's ever existed. But let's move on to the answer from Miss Manners.
What's the score for? What we score the question?
I gave it an 8,
and
you gave it a 5, so it's
I said a
13.
5.
It's
Okay.
13 up to 13 now. We really need to start remembering to score these totally at the end as
Yes.
well, because we don't remember ever to do that. We're
And
supposed to do that.
I made that fancy graphic.
I know,
you
dear
know, so-
viewers, we're bad at this. We're sorry. We forget.
Gentle reader, astonishment that you get this only once a year. Have you people not discovered that on social media? They could post every single day, even multiple times a day. Selfie press releases passed off as news about oneself and one's family have become a year-round nuisance. The object is to cast the subject in a favorable, if not enviable light. No doubt your correspondents think of their tone as being cheerful, even when reporting a death. But they, like nearly all social media posters, suffer from the fatal fault of failing to consider the target audience. Personal news should be sent only to people who do not otherwise know it and yet can be presumed to be interested. That's it.
What? What? Have we ever read Miss Manners before?
No, this is the very first time.
Oh yeah, that's terrible. What? Did she just?
There
Did
was
she
like
just kind of
there
agree?
was no advice.
You just validated this person? Like here.
That's funny
seriously.
because that's exactly what you were saying to begin with.
I started off, but yeah, of course. But what do you want? Seriously, okay. What you got to ask yourself is like, what do you want people to do? Like, this answer doesn't. Okay, this is a 2.
I agree.
And that's generous because like, give the alternative. Okay, so she did share the 2 instead of a 0 because she actually did get my opinion on these things. She basically answered the question.
Yeah, but that's not giving advice. Answering a question is not giving advice. That's why
she didn't ever call the woman a petty asshole. Instead, she responded by also saying, "Hey, me too. I'm also a petty asshole." Here's the deal: like Christmas letters, social media posts, all that stuff, like Instagram, the gram. What are they called? I get confused. But anyway, that is what it's for. Like if you can, what you're sharing is you're trying to be positive, whatever. You're trying to be funny. You're trying to break. I mean, I don't follow people that you can unfollow. And if I get a Christmas letter full of that stuff, so what? I don't care. Send me your Christmas letter.
Right.
But like, what's the alternative?
As
to
in,
that?
like not getting anything.
Yeah, don't send something. That's perfectly fine alternative.
Yeah,
you know what?
Or
send anything.
when it does come in, just throw it away.
Yeah, just don't read it.
Just don't read it. Be like, oh, we got another one of those things. You put it on the counter, like you're going to read it, and then when January comes around, oh, I never got around to opening that. Well, there's no reason to opening it now.
Yeah, and if you want to catch up with your friends and see what they're up to because they send you a Christmas letter once a year and they're not on social media, whatever reason it is that you can't catch up with your friends, then read it. And so if that's the case, then what would you rather read? Right. You want them to, what do you want them to do?
Be like talk about like how bad they feel, which is what they kind of talked about, which was her advice there. But still, both
Miss Manners and the questioner might as well just shut off their brains to other people's people that are generally happy and braggy. People are happy and braggy. Yeah. Everybody in the world thinks they're living like the best friggin' life, and that's so it's just the way people work.
So I think this person really needs to know some really terrible advice. on what to do.
I forgot about that. Yeah, some bad advice.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna ignore the question
Yeah.
because whatever, and I'm gonna give bad advice in the situation that these letters irritate me. What should I do
Yeah.
about that?
Uh-huh.
Because okay, what you should do is when you get the Christmas letter, go on their Facebook page and their Instagram and their Twitter and read all their posts and comments about how their posts are too braggy. You need every time respond to their Christmas letter by sending it back to them with a bunch of red ink and rewrite it and tell them, like, this is how you could make this more appropriate and less offensive and more in the spirit of this Christian season.
Yeah.
But this is what you should do. Every Instagram post, every Facebook post, every Christmas letter you get, you should correct it. You should correct it and make it better by taking out anything braggy.
Yeah. All right. I was thinking the worst advice for her is just to one up them, but every day one up them.
Every day.
Like just send out these letters every day. Another great day. You know. You won't believe how
had the best egg roll ever.
Look at my lawn. It's so green. You'll never get green grass like mine.
It's a unique color of green no one has ever seen.
Yeah. And it's got to be written in like really nice get yourself some fancy pens. Good parchment. Every day.
Yeah, my advice is worse. Take more time. Take more time to respond to every post.
Yeah.
Your advice sounds fun. Like, I'm gonna start doing that on social media. To talk about
on social media. No, you got to get yourself envelopes and stamps.
Oh, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Mine's still worse. I don't know. What do you think? Your mine worse or your worse? We're pretty tied. This is a shit episode. This is a crappy episode of Unsolicited.
God, try and miss manners. We should just stick with the
people that we're good at. I think we should do another one, but we're sorry for this being a crappy episode. But you know what? We picked something, and it's just going to be what it is.
Unsolicited advice. Unsolicited